But this video is about photography and why I love photography. And the bottom line is it takes me out into God's creation in the still of the morning. I can almost imagine what it must have been like for Adam and Eve to walk with God in the cool of the morning in the Garden of Eden. I'm not a portrait photographer, I'm not a landscape photographer, not an astrophotographer, I'm just a photographer. And anything of interest, I take a picture. This channel is about a lot of things: gardening, landscaping, construction. I live 35 miles from the Turtle Mountain Indian Reservation. I go there every 2 weeks for a Bible study. The Anishinaabe always knew there was a creator. It was inherent in them. They talked to him often and thanked him gratefully for the food and for the family. The Anishinaabe means the original man. It's interesting because I'm Scandinavian, and possibly as much as 4 centuries before Columbus set foot in America, the Vikings, my ancestors, traveled to this place, Minnesota, North Dakota. They left their marks on rune stones that can still be found in Minnesota. I started thinking about, okay, what's my connection to my Chippewa, my Anishinaabe, my Métis friends over on Turtle Mountain? And my heritage means that my ancestors traveled here. And yes, I checked on it, and they did war. The Vikings were known for pillaging and raping and taking over cities and countries all over Europe. But why not the American Indian? Maybe it was out of respect, I'm not sure. There's even some evidence that the Vikings took some Anishinaabe, some Chippewa, back to Scandinavia. So who knows, maybe some of the DNA from the Chippewa and the Viking has traveled across Europe and was actually on board Christopher Columbus's ship. Who knows? The name that the original man, the Anishinaabe, have for the creator is, I believe, Gitchimanatu. And I'm pronouncing that terribly wrong, I'm sure. But they knew there was a creator when we all actually do. It's encoded within our own DNA. But many people have given up on it. I inherently feel there's a God. I just know it. But that isn't a good defense of it. Or if I was going to talk to somebody and defend my faith, my Christian faith, I would need to know more. And I've been spending some time thinking about that and watching some very smart people and watching videos and reading books done by very, very smart people. I started with C.S. Lewis, Mere Christianity. And recently I've been very interested in John Lennox, mathematician, Oxford, and apologist, scientist, philosopher, such as Michael Behe, Stephen Meyer, and cosmologist Hugh Ross. And I've been investigating, and science and God are growing closer together. In fact, science is proving the existence of God. And I won't go into the details. These gentlemen are far above my intelligence, that's for sure. But I read them and they point out so many things about the formation of the universe, about biology, cosmology, anthropology, physics, mathematics. It astounds me, and it does reinforce my faith. A while ago, I wrote an essay on why I believe in God, and it talks a bit about the scientific evidence and some of these gentlemen, Lennox, Behe, Meyer, and Ross. And I have the link below for this video if you're interested in reading that. I'm a photographer, not a philosopher. I'm a carpenter, not a cosmologist. I'm a farmer, not a physicist. I'm a storyteller, not a scientist. Love to photograph creation. That's why I photograph. It gets me away in the quiet of the early morning or late night to just concentrate. When I look through the camera, I'm concentrating on what's before me and what God has created. So I always say photography is easy. You know, modern cameras, computer operated. You can put them on auto and they'll take a beautiful picture. But it's easy because God did all the work. He created the sunrise. He created the trees and the insects and the birds and the bees and everything else, you and I. So I thought I'd just share some of these moments where I spend time with God in some of these photos, and I hope you enjoy them. The truth is, everybody has a camera right here, beautiful camera, everywhere they go. And if you just pause for a moment, even in a maddening crowd, and look around, you'll see God's beauty in every person you meet, even the ones who've had a bad day. Every sunset, sunrise, and wave that crashes on the beach. Every turtle that crawls up on the shoreline.